I was at my roommate's home for an evening. In her bathroom, a figure in red with flowing hair caught my eye. I inquired about her identity. My roommate, clearly terrified, accused me of making a morbid joke in the dead of night. Her boyfriend's face, meanwhile, grew tense and uncomfortable. As night deepened, the red-clad woman's voice haunted me in my sleep. "None who arrive shall leave." My roommate, a spirit-seeking live streamer with 1 million followers, habitually prowls haunted houses in the dead of night. I've often chastised her for blatantly risking her life for money. Unmoved, she argues that my perspective might change if I were earning $500 a month. Powerless, I could only sigh deeply and covertly stash homemade talismans in her backpack, hoping to offer some minor protection. When I concluded my apprenticeship, my master emphatically advised me to prioritize my studies and steer clear of meddling. I've adhered to that as much as possible. Recently, yielding to her fans' requests, she streamed from an abandoned haunted hospital and has been visibly shaken ever since. She implored me to keep her company. Now financially independent, she had previously purchased her own home. Aware of her unsettling occupation, our other roommates keep a cautious distance. Left with little choice, I acquiesced to her invitation to visit her new home. Upon stepping inside, an icy chill washed over me. A glance revealed the bathroom as the source of this unsettling cold. At that moment, my roommate's boyfriend exited the bathroom. A fleeting glimpse of something red caught my eye. Before I could investigate further, he closed the door. My roommate was preparing for tonight's live stream, meticulously applying her makeup. The chill intensified, like an unseen hand gently grazing my neck. I observed the others in the room. My roommate seemed to notice the chill too, her hand occasionally brushing her neck. Her boyfriend, lost to the world, was engrossed in his video game. The red-clad specter harbored a deep malevolence, unmistakably a vengeful spirit. Maintaining my calm, I announced, "I need to use the bathroom." I saw him momentarily freeze his gaming. While doing her makeup, my roommate chuckled. "Is this your first visit? No need to announce a bathroom break. However, the guest bathroom is out of order. Use the one in the master bedroom." Out of order? I had just witnessed her boyfriend using it. She explained that tonight's live stream was to revisit our chilling exploration of an abandoned hospital. Feeling uneasy, she requested my company. I used the need for the restroom as a pretext to quietly inspect the master bedroom, its bathroom, and the adjacent rooms. Assured that all was well, I settled across from her. As she activated her streaming setup, I felt a sudden concentration of cold air, gathering ominously around the phone. Alarmingly, the specter sought to possess the phone, capturing souls. Such capabilities signify a ghost king, a rare entity, with fewer than 5 known in the underworld. These spirits can siphon spiritual essence directly from human minds through psychic connections, draining their victims dry. Any viewer engaging through chat risks entrapment. Time pressed, I darted forward to snatch the phone. As my fingers brushed the device, the chilling aura dissipated. A red wisp glided from my touch toward the bathroom. Yet I had barely reacted. What made her withdraw? My roommate, noting my firm hold, queried anxiously. With a steady tone, I responded, "It nearly fell. I caught it just in time." Relief washed over them both. My gaze slid to the bathroom where the ethereal red shade danced tantalizingly. Abruptly, her boyfriend discarded his phone and headed for the bathroom. "The bathroom's out of order. Where are you going?" she called. "I need a shower," he declared, slipping inside and closing the door. Vague shapes mingled inside, human and spirit entwined in a grotesque embrace. The ghost clung tightly to him, limbs entangled as the shower hissed to life. My worldview fractured slightly, turning back to my friend who, oblivious, had restarted her equipment and was engaging lively with her online audience. This female ghost not only devours spiritual essence but also vital energies. Her boyfriend appears to have been thoroughly ensnared. Approaching, I knocked on the bathroom door. The sounds within swiftly ceased. Her boyfriend, thoroughly drenched, burst out and hurried into their bedroom. My friend, caught off guard by the spectacle, looked at me apologetically. I dismissed it with a wave of my hand. Listening in, I heard her chatting with her viewers. No ghost hunting today. I'm still reeling from our last visit to that haunted hospital. Oh, you went too? Ran into a ghost hunter. Did you? Catch any ghosts? Did he? As she chatted and laughed, my worry deepened. That haunted hospital was fraught with danger. Where ghost kings dwell, malignant spirits swarm. Ordinary explorers risk incurring spectral cling. Inadequately prepared ghost hunters rarely return. Stay away from that haunted hospital. It's perilous, I stated emphatically, clear enough for everyone to hear. My friend glanced at me and then addressed her viewers with a smile. Who's talking? My roommate, Xia Ling. She beckoned me over. I declined with a shake of my head. Unfazed, she continued, Xia Ling has quite a knack. Last year, she discovered a body buried 3 feet deep under our school's playground. It was she who called the police. How she found it is anyone's guess. Why does she spill every detail? The ghost of the unjustly buried victim stands at that very spot daily. Each time I pass, it fixes its gaze on me. Impossible to overlook. Yes, she's truly talented. Xia Ling, come here. Everyone is singing your praises. I approached and said gravely into the camera, please stop commenting. It's very dangerous. As soon as I finished, the floodgates opened. Really? Someone's telling me I can't comment? Do you own the ocean? I'll comment if I want. Face whatever comes. Is your roommate actually in college? She looks like she's in middle school. She has such a lucky, doll-like face. Like those in New Year paintings, haha. Tell us how you found that body. I have a thing for younger looks. Does your roommate need a boyfriend? The barrage of comments was relentless, but one in particular made my heart skip. Whoa. She resembles the virgin girl from our family's ancestral master's portrait. I sat bolt upright as another viewer remarked. Now that you mention it, our family's ancestral portrait does feature a virgin girl who looks just like her. My roommate laughed upon seeing it. Xia Ling does have a look of fortune about her. She's often compared to a wealth-bringing child. I turned to my roommate and asked, is it possible to mute someone in the stream? She paused, then replied with a smile. Absolutely. Who's giving you trouble? I'll mute them. I shook my head decisively. No, I mean mute everyone. My roommate looked puzzled. Technically, yes, but the essence of live streaming is engagement. I always encourage participation. How can we mute everyone? The explanation would be too complex, and skepticism was inevitable. I cut to the chase. Where's the option? Really? Why mute everyone? Not just for today, but for all your future spirit hunting streams. You need to enforce silence. She blocked my attempt and gestured to the barrage of comments. Everyone's eager to speak, see? People don't grasp the danger, obviously. A glance at the screen showed it awash with abuse. Where's this lunatic from? Get lost. This person must crave fame badly. Acting the fool in a million-viewer stream. Xin, is your roommate unwell? Is she envious of your success? This kind of person isn't friend material. Xin, beware. I was about to reply when a sinister red shadow darted into the phone. Quick, end the stream. Everyone, stop commenting now. I dashed to yank the Ethernet cable, but as the screen filled with rolling comments, the viewer and interaction counts soared to 1.52 million and 700,000 respectively. I tugged fiercely, yet the cable was securely fastened to the router, immovable. I could only watch as the red shadow vanished into the device. Every commenter's ID subtly emitted a dark mist. I disregarded my roommate's presence and began drawing talismans in the air. These symbols were intricate, demanding my full attention. My roommate observed me with a baffled look, eventually turning off the live stream. She couldn't perceive the talisman's golden glow. After a pause, she softly asked, "Are you okay?" I was solely focused on the phone, unable to respond. With the stream turned off, the red shadow did not reappear. It likely followed the internet cables to pursue others. I faced my roommate and queried, "Have you seen the woman in red in your bathroom? Who is she? My roommate recoiled, screaming in alarm. Stop it. There's no such woman in red. I continued staring at her intently. Yes, there is. I've just seen her. Her eyes widened in utter terror, her whole body trembling. Her boyfriend came out from another room, his tone uneasy. Shinshin is easily frightened. Please don't scare her. I advised my roommate to quit streaming and get some rest. However, her boyfriend interjected. You were supposed to reassure Shinshin, not terrify her with tales of ghosts. Seeing a dark mist envelop him, I quickly ushered my roommate into another room. She was clearly terrified, following me blankly. I guided her to sit on the bed, suggesting, undress and get some sleep. She followed instructions, tucking herself under the blanket and clutching my hand, murmuring, Xiaoling, did you really see it? I smiled gently. Just teasing, try to get some sleep. After she succumbed to sleep, I had to lay down a ghost trapping formation. My roommate had been to a ghost hospital, and her phone, now steeped in ghostly energy, was more prone to hosting spirits. Given her popularity on live streams, the female ghost was inevitably going to reappear. I took my roommate's hand, imparting protective energy into her. She soon nodded off. Quickly, I got up and meticulously crafted a bagua formation at the bedside. I also added a concealment talisman to veil it. Only then did I settle back into bed, feeling secure enough to sleep. In a twilight state between sleep and wakefulness, a sinister voice hissed, Don't bother. No visitor ever leaves. Pretending to be asleep, I listened to the female ghost digest the scant spiritual energy she had gathered, grumbling irritably. Damn it, all fools tonight? This pitiful amount of energy. Barely enough for anyone. What a waste of my efforts. A chuckle escaped me, prompting the female ghost to glare. You shouldn't be enjoying sweet dreams right now. No longer pretending. I stood, shoved her back into the bagua formation. She froze, bewildered, before exploding in rage. How dare you push me? Do you have the audacity of a lion? Watching as the golden glow of the cage enveloped her, I flashed a wry smile. My apologies. She desperately clung to the cage, yelling, Who are you? I held out the gourd and asked calmly, Will you do it, or should I intervene? Her eyes blazed with fury as she snapped, I have no idea what you're talking about. I tapped the cage lightly, reminding her, The essence from your roommate's boyfriend tonight. The spiritual energy from all those unsuspecting netizens. It's easier if you release it yourself. If I have to force it, you're going to suffer. Stubborn and unyielding, she retorted. I keep telling you, I don't understand your words. Who are you to foil my plans? Growing tired of her defiance, I placed the gourd above her head and commenced the extraction of spiritual energy. The pain elicited wild screams and violent thrashing on the ground. Stop! You'll regret this. I won't let you get away with this. Of course, I persisted, drawing the energy ceaselessly. It turned out she had haunted the homes of hundreds of thousands of netizens in a single night. However, the collective spiritual energy was disappointingly meager. It was all sucked out within minutes. I sealed the gourd tightly, tucked it away, and looked at the ghost writhing in torment. Regretfully, I said, I told you it would hurt. You chose not to believe. The female ghost tried to lunge at me. I'll kill you. I shook my head and replied, This gourd holds a spirit-attracting banner. You couldn't kill me even if there were 10 of you. Furious, she bled from every orifice and reached out with her blood-soaked hand to grasp me. Just as I was about to seal her in the demon-quelling bag, a lance of blue light pierced through the window. The female ghost utilized it to evade my bagua formation, disappearing without a trace. Clearly, she was backed by powers far beyond the ordinary. Unruffled, I lay back down on the bed. First things first, I needed to return the spiritual essence to the viewers. The next morning, I woke early. Checking my schedule, I noted I had classes in the afternoon. I proposed a morning stream to my roommate. She replied sleepily, We can, though the audience might be smaller. That was acceptable. Returning any portion of their energy was worthwhile. With sleepy eyes, she applied her makeup and initiated the stream. Within minutes, the stream amassed hundreds of thousands of viewers. They bombarded us with questions. What happened yesterday? Why did the stream cut off suddenly? Shinshin, are you okay? Stay away from your crazy roommate. I'm dying to know. I couldn't sleep all night. What happened at your place? Shinshin, I swear I saw a red shadow in the camera. Like a ghost. Who's spouting nonsense? Kick out the troublemakers. As I watched each ID, shrouded in a black mist, I retrieved a magical gourd and set it beside the phone. Some viewers spotted me and started to berate. Why is this nuisance still here? Last night, you cut the stream at its peak. Do you realize you might have jeopardized Shinshin's streaming career? You're simply envious, nothing more than a small-minded person. Unruffled, I read the user ID aloud. Pan is not fat anymore. You began to feel dizzy last night, suddenly unable to recall anything. By morning, your face turned pale, your head buzzed, and your vision blurred. The user known as Pan is not fat anymore sent a few ellipses, then typed, "How did you know?" Next, I read several IDs, each shrouded in an aura of dark mist. Silence ensued. Increasingly, others admitted they experienced similar symptoms. Smiling, I said, hadn't I advised against posting comments? What's the connection between posting comments and this? I elucidated. Because Xion, during her exploration of spirits, encountered a malevolent ghost. She can absorb your spiritual energy through your thoughts. Any comment you post makes you vulnerable. The comment section filled with skeptics. Nonsense. I commented last night too, yet nothing happened to me. With a laugh, I replied. With over 1 million comments last night, she simply hasn't reached you yet.
Ah, ara sumió nas spreading superstitions.
Let's report her. Do you even listen to yourself? Do you believe what you're saying? Why must you incite panic? I shrugged nonchalantly. I've spoken my truth. Believe it or not, post at your own risk. Fear gripped some users who felt the effects. What should I do now? Grasping the enchanted gourd, I grinned and said, all the spiritual energy drawn out last night is stored here. If you've commented, just comment once more, and I'll restore it to you. As more comments flooded in, the spiritual energy within the gourd began to waft towards my phone, visibly diminishing. Many were reconnecting with their own vitality. Wow! I suddenly feel so much clearer. Same here. My mind was muddled all morning and now it's like a light turned on. The dizziness is gone, and my vision's back to normal. Truly, Master, I'm cured too. Grateful to you, Master. You are my miracle. You truly are a master. We were wrong about you. Those merely spectating started to wonder, you're not just putting on a show, are you? Yet, as comments about recovery multiplied, victory seemed certain. My roommate looked on in astonishment. Is everything you said true? I nodded solemnly. You should avoid doing these spirit exploration streams from now on. It's dangerous. Struggling with disbelief, my roommate asked, isn't that an overreaction? Are you sure you're not deceiving me? I stowed the gourd away, replying, with so many affected, it's hardly a staged act. You can still turn things around if you stop now. Facing the screen, I cautioned, feel free to watch the spirit exploration streams, but please refrain from commenting. With that, I packed up my belongings, ready to return to school. My roommate seemed irked, presumably annoyed that my interruption had ruined her live stream. She avoided my gaze completely. After a moment of thought, I fished out the amulet I had previously tucked into her bag. The talisman had served its purpose, turning entirely black. I presented it to her, explaining, I secretly placed this in your bag as a protective charm. It has already warded off disaster for you. I then produced a fresh amulet, shimmering golden, to show her the contrast. This is what it looks like in used. She stared back at me, utterly astonished. I handed her the new charm, urging her, consider my words carefully. Don't live to regret ignoring them. With that, I departed. There were classes in the afternoon, but my evening was reserved for a venture into the infamous haunted hospital. Nestled in an isolated spot akin to a desolate wilderness, the hospital was shrouded by dense undergrowth due to years of neglect. My roommate and her boyfriend had audaciously ventured there in search of spirits. Arriving at 10 p.m., I found the place deserted. Wading through the towering grass, I reached a gate cloaked in rust. Inside, the disarray was striking. Stretchers thrown about, lab coats stained with rust, and a derelict ambulance lay forgotten. Dead leaves and twigs carpeted the floor. I pressed on, the oppressive gloom deepening with each step. I aimed for the second floor, the epicenter of this chilling aura. No sooner had I touched the stairwell than footsteps echoed from below, their tap, tap, resounding ominously through the stillness, drawing ominously closer. I slipped into a room, hiding away as the sound of approaching footsteps grew nearer. The individual seemed in urgent search of something, their footsteps briskly sweeping past the doorway. To my astonishment, the fleeting glimpse I caught of the person's profile was unmistakably that of my roommate's boyfriend. I activated an invisibility charm, silently shadowing him. My roommate's boyfriend dashed through the halls in a panic, his voice barely above a whisper. "Jingjing, where are you? Who is Jingjing? Could it possibly be that ghost?" A chilling premonition washed over me. He plunged into the darkness toward the surgery room at the corridor's end, where the lights flickered to life intermittently. Something dreadful had transpired here. The corridors were streaked with fresh and drying blood. The lights flickered, casting us back into darkness and amplifying the dread. It struck me how fearlessly he moved. No, these bloodstains were freshly layered, some still damp. I quickened my steps and overheard a voice inside. "Jingjing, I finally found you. I feared you might leave me again." A man and a ghost embraced within. His voice tinged with sobs. The young man pleaded, "Jingjing, just a bit longer. Please hold on. Young Fan, we are up against a formidable foe this time. What should I do? My strength is ebbing. I need Yen Xian's body and substantial spiritual energy. All right, I'll fetch her. Just wait for me here." After his declaration, he rushed out the door and sped away. I was about to follow him inside when another voice floated through the air. "Where did this lovesick fool come from? So saccharine he nearly rots my teeth?" A long-haired male ghost in flowing white robes caught my eye. His voice was unsettlingly soft, and even with his ghostly pallor, his graceful, orchid-like fingers demanded attention. Humph! Deluding himself with thoughts of deep love, the fool. Ah, he adores you so, and yet you dismiss him thus. Silence, be serious. The male voice took on a more forceful tone. The woman who ensnared you, she possesses certain powers, making her energy more potent. Could her blood also taste sweeter? I've had my fill of these odious men. Women are far sweeter. The female ghost responded icily. Together, we are no match for her. Oh, please, did I not rescue you? That was... Boom! A sudden explosion of noise erupted from downstairs. The two ghosts exchanged a quick glance before darting out of the operating room. Indeed, today we ventured into this haunted hospital to seek spirits, and it truly does send shivers down your spine. Absolutely, it's 10:40 p.m. Beijing time, and as midnight draws near, the Yin energy intensifies. Tonight, we're really testing the tales of this haunted hospital. Let's prove whether it's truly infested with spirits or not. Below, a man and a woman armed with smartphones seem to have collided with something substantial, prompting the thunderous noise. The two ghosts watched them with eerie green glows in their eyes. Oblivious to their audience, the pair continued their animated banter into their smartphones. Listen, that million-follower influencer is just vying for views. There's nothing ghostly here. We've been walking forever and haven't spotted a single ghost. This haunted hospital is genuinely creepy, though. It'd make an excellent escape room. It'd probably be quite successful. It would be an ideal haunted house too. Ready to go? Keep those comments coming, folks. The more you send, the more rooms we'll unlock. Look at this, there's actual blood here. They say this place endured a war. Looks like that's true. They continued their non-stop chatter, completely blind to any danger. The female ghost in red glided toward the smartphone, seemingly trying to possess it. This time, I was prepared, affixing a spirit-suppressing talisman to the smartphone. She hovered near the device, attempting to invade it. The man with the smartphone suddenly burst out laughing. "You saw a woman in red? Ha ha ha. Come on, man. You can't scare people like that in the middle of the night. Where is she? I don't see anything." Behind me, he scanned around, still laughing. Meanwhile, the woman gripped his arm, her voice quivering. "Why are more and more viewers claiming they see the woman in red? It can't really be true, can it?" The man laughed offhandedly. "With me here, what's there to be afraid of?" The female ghost, visibly displeased by the conversation, edged closer to the man, sniffing him intently before her face twisted into a menacing grin. "Tian Tian, what are you doing here?" The man came to an abrupt stop, his gaze locked forward. Behind him, the girl recoiled in fear and ducked behind him, pleading, "What are you doing? Don't scare me like that." He ignored her plea and surged ahead. The female ghost had now taken the form of a delightful young girl, her expression awash with surprise. "Why are you here? Where's Yu Wenjun? How could he leave you alone like this?" The plot thickened, becoming puzzling. I stood a short distance away, arms crossed, intrigued by the spectacle. The girl approached, her body quivering, and asked incredulously, "Is that Wan Tin? A Tao? Wenjun was supposed to bring me here for a spirit exploration, but he's disappeared, and I'm terrified." The female ghost feigned innocence expertly. "Don't be afraid. I'll hold your hand," said a Tao, as he instantly took the ghost's hand. "A Tao, I'm your girlfriend, and I'm also scared," the girl with him exclaimed at once. A Tao glanced at her dismissively. "You insisted on coming. If you're scared, go back." The girl, both angry and frightened, protested. "How am I supposed to go back by myself?" Receiving no response, she added, "I was with you when your family went bankrupt, helping you through the downturn. Are you really going to abandon your Wan Tin now?"
阿涛冷笑一声：“你别无理取闹，甜甜胆子小，以前停电都害怕，我不能不管他。你乖乖跟在我身后，如果再闹，我就不管你了。”女孩悲伤地看着他，不再说话，默默跟在后面。几人慢慢走上2楼，尽头的手术室却传来撞击声，一下一下，似乎有人在砍肉。
阿涛，你过去看看吧，我害怕。
女鬼娇俏地对着那个阿涛说。可是，那阿涛却犹豫了。大晚上的，遇到这种事，胆子再大也难免害怕。哎呀，你快去看看，我们2个在这里等你。女鬼依旧撒着娇，跟阿涛一起来的女孩却冷着声音说：“聂涛，趁里面的人没发现，我们现在回去还来得及。”阿涛却没理她，摸了摸女鬼的脸，说：“你在这里等，别乱跑，我看一下就回来。”说完，就往手术室跑了。我看了看女孩的脸色，有种哀莫大于心死的感觉。女鬼却猛地把她往自己身上一拖，这动作太突然，我光顾着看戏了，竟让他俩从我眼皮子底下消失了。我找了一圈没找见，只好跟去手术室，里面无声无息，那阿涛也不见了。
I couldn't help feeling a tinge of annoyance. Curiosity had led us astray. Yet my roommate's boyfriend was still nowhere to be seen. Those two ghosts were unlikely to stray far from this haunted hospital. I descended the stairs just as the gate creaked open. "Qin Feng, let's not go inside. I'm really scared." My roommate's voice echoed timidly. "Don't worry. I'll protect you." But Xialing warned us about ghosts. I'm too frightened to enter. Her voice was laden with a plea. "Xin, your roommate is misleading you. She's envious of your financial success and is trying to thwart you. Don't you see it? Xialing wouldn't do that. Let's drop it. Start the live stream. Tonight's going to draw huge traffic." Their relentless pursuit of spiritual energy was evident. I moved closer, embedding a spirit-suppressing talisman into their phone. I also crafted a more sophisticated protective talisman and gently applied it to my roommate. See, there are no ghosts here. Let's go up to the second floor. It's far more thrilling. This guy was utterly ruthless. I slightly regretted rejuvenating his energy. Predictably, the female ghost manifested again on the second floor. She mimicked frailty, leaning against the wall. Her eyes narrowed, triggering the operating room lights to flicker intermittently. My roommate spotted her as the lights flashed on and, in utter terror, collapsed, screaming, "Ah, there's a ghost." Her boyfriend Yang Fan feigned ignorance. "A ghost? You must be seeing things." My roommate was steadied to her feet, and by the time the lights flickered back on, the female ghost had disappeared. But just now I clearly saw. Enough. Don't cause a scene, your viewers are waiting. Shaking, my roommate stood up and gasped at her phone. Look, they saw her too. The chat is all about the woman in red. Yang Fan, growing impatient, snapped. Look closely. There's no ghost. Stop frightening yourself. Let's go inside. I was utterly dumbfounded. This man, call him heartless, yet for another woman he'd stop at nothing. Call him devoted, yet he could coldly cast his own girlfriend into the abyss. Why are so few people tuning in tonight? Yang Fan glared at the phone screen, annoyed despite over 50,000 live viewers. The comments were ablaze. Everyone's next door watching the real drama unfold. Yang Fan demanded, "What drama?" The viewers explained. Spirit exploration host Sun Xiao and her boyfriend Nie Tao are also here at the haunted hospital. They encountered Nie Tao's ex-girlfriend, and Nie chose her over his current girlfriend. They both disappeared suddenly, and someone's called the cops. They'll be here soon. Hearing the police were on their way, Yang Fan looked around the room in a panic. The female ghost watched him weakly. He paused to think for a moment, then abruptly shut off the live stream, seized my roommate, and shoved her into the room. Overcome with terror at the sight of the female ghost, my roommate sobbed uncontrollably, instinctively retreating behind her boyfriend. He, however, seemed indifferent, pushing her towards the ghost. "Jing Jing, I've brought her for you. Use her quickly." Incredulous, my roommate glanced back at her boyfriend and caught him looking adoringly at the ghost. The ghost grinned maliciously. "Would you really kill her for me?" "Without question. I'd do anything for you." Yang Fan eagerly affirmed his fidelity.
Yang Fan.
Collapsing under the weight of her emotions, my roommate sank slowly to the floor. The ghost laughed seductively. "You love me that much?" Yang Fan hurried to her, enveloping her in his arms. "I love you. I've been filled with regret every day since you died, wishing I could have taken your place." The ghost cradled his head, encouraging him to continue. "Jing Jing, there's no one else for me in this life but you. I want only you. You're flawless. No one else compares. I've missed you terribly. How do you think I've managed every day without you? I can't endure another day like this. Quickly, take over Yen Xian's body, and let's never part again." He embraced the ghost tightly, his declaration of love overshadowing the presence of his distraught girlfriend sitting just in front of him. My roommate's face grew cold and detached as she raised her eyes to the female ghost. The female ghost reached out and placed her hand on Yang Fan's head, her features twisting into a grotesque snarl. Was she draining his life essence? I quickly stepped in, deploying a talisman that flashed golden as it merged with Yang Fan. Despite this, his life force still streamed steadily into the ghost. He was sacrificing himself willingly, devoted to the ghost. Those unwilling to save themselves are beyond help. Then the female ghost's voice cut through. "I've always said, men can't be trusted. Work with me quietly. You supply the people, I provide the money." "Yeah, I've lost all hope," came my roommate's resigned voice.
Shocked, ich starrte her.
She had been conspiring with the ghost all along. That explained her meteoric rise to millionaire blogger, pulling in millions each month. "Let me show you a real spectacle," the ghost sneered as she exited the room. She strode towards the operating room, her red gown lit by the flickering lights, casting ominous shadows over the bloody stains on the floor, forming a macabre trail. My roommate followed at a leisurely pace, her expression detached, seemingly inured to the horror. Inside the operating room, Nietao and Sun Xiao lay unconscious. As the female ghost entered, she transformed into Wentian. The sound of her footsteps seemed to revive the pair on the floor. Nietao rose and embraced Wentian, exclaiming, "Wentian, are you all right?" Nietao seemed to disregard his girlfriend on the floor, barely hanging on to life. "I'm fine. Please check on Xiao Xiao." Only then did Nietao glance at Sun Xiao, raising her gently, albeit regretfully. "Xiao Xiao." Sun Xiao shook off his hand, her voice frosty. "You should just take care of Wentian." Feeling unfairly treated, Nietao lashed out. "Are you still going to sulk now? Can't you be more gracious and gentle, like Wentian?" Quivering with rage, Sun Xiao snapped back. "If Wentian is so great, why don't you just be her boyfriend?" The female ghost, observing the exchange, smiled and interjected, "Don't be upset, Xiao Xiao. Atao is just concerned about me. If something happened to me, he wouldn't know how to explain it to my mother." Sun Xiao scoffed, "I'm well aware you're childhood sweethearts. No need to keep reminding me."
Nietao barked, "Enough."
"Will you ever let it go? Wentian, let's get out of here." The female ghost gently pulled Nietao aside, whispering, "Actually, Atao, Yu Wenjun and I have split up." Pausing, Nietao shifted his gaze guiltily towards Sun Xiao before taking Wentian's hand. "Wentian, if you'd accept." Sun Xiao sneered. "Nietao, you dare to cheat right in front of me? Unafraid of retribution? Perhaps unnerved by the surroundings." Nietao looked visibly shaken. He clasped Wentian's hand and turned to leave. However, the female ghost stood firm. "We should clear things up with Xiao Xiao. We truly love each other, and it's unfair to keep her hanging on." Nietao, visibly agitated, briskly pulled the female ghost before Sun Xiao and declared, "Sun Xiao, see? My heart belongs to Wentian. We're done." He then dragged the female ghost from the operating room without a backward glance at Sun Xiao. Reaching the doorway, he eagerly leaned in for a kiss. It's difficult to understand such fervent passion. As he approached, the female ghost smirked malevolently, her face morphing into a terrifying visage. Startled, Nietao recoiled, his screams echoing in confused terror. Watching Sun Xiao recoil in fear, the female ghost motioned for my roommate. My roommate stepped up, holding Sun Xiao steady, reassuring her, "Don't be scared. She's actually helping us." Sun Xiao, trembling, managed to ask, Are you Yan Xian?" My roommate nodded. "She means us no harm." Sun Xiao, intensely watching Yan Xian, clutched at her clothes, too frightened to look away. The female ghost offered a smile. "Would you like to join us?" The sight was almost comical. Two men, one lying on the ground fighting for life, the other cowering in the corner, distraught. The female ghost explained to Sun Xiao, "I'll visit you on odd days and her on even days. As long as I can collect enough essence and spiritual energy, I guarantee you'll never stop earning money." Still visibly uneasy, Sun Xiao remained hidden behind Yan Xian. As police sirens began to sound outside, the female ghost laughed lightly. "Go back for now. I'll come to find you when it's time." As she attempted to disappear, I swiftly cast a ghost-subduing talisman. She crashed to the ground, struggling and crying out. The 8 trigrams formation failed to hold her, compelling me to use the Linglong Tower, securing her at its base. "Xia Ling!" my roommate exclaimed. Seeing me, she looked away in shame. "Run!" the female ghost bellowed. Ignoring my roommate, I targeted the blue glow lurking at the door with a revealing talisman. The elegant male ghost was subdued, kneeling under the talisman's influence. I seized the Linglong Tower and ensnared both ghosts within it. Sun Xiao, shivering, recognized me. You're the master." I turned to my roommate, saying, "Ill-gotten wealth breeds misfortune. See what's become of the protective talisman I gave you. My roommate stepped off the now tainted talisman, whispering, I'm sorry. You owe no apology to me. It's those you've harmed you should be apologizing to. Their diminished spirits and vitality have reduced their intellect and put their lives at risk. You'll never fully make amends. As we were talking, the police stormed in. They carted Nietao and Yang Fan off and took us to the station to record our statements. Afterwards, I took the Linglong Tower back to Xixia Mountain. With my master still away, I placed the two ghosts in the 8 trigrams formation he had prepared. Within, they suffered agonies as if their marrow was being sucked dry and their tendons ripped apart. The spiritual and life essences they had previously ingested had fused into their very beings. This was the only method to purge it. I knelt before the mystical array. Memories of the two ghosts flickered before my eyes like scenes from a spectral cinema. The female ghost had been a child bride in the olden days, viciously killed and cast into a pond for her illicit love affair with the local blacksmith. Her profound resentment prevented her from transcending the cycle of reincarnation. For centuries, she haunted the living realm, unwittingly causing untold suffering. Most of her victims, however, were men who had betrayed sincere affections. The male ghost was once a promising scholar. On his journey to the capital for the imperial examinations, he rescued a fellow examinee. This fellow, though talented, was poisoned with envy. Fearing the scholar's superior literary gifts, he betrayed him with a drugging the night before the exam. This act doomed the scholar to miss his examination, eventually leading to his penniless death from illness in a strange city. His resentment grew bitter, and he became a predator of human spiritual energy. After meeting 2 centuries ago, the pair had since become accomplices in spectral crimes. Holding the gourd brimming with collected souls, I let out a weary sigh. With a flick of my hand, I unveiled the portal to reincarnation. After centuries of earthly wanderings and countless lives marred by your actions, continuing this path would only ensure endless torment. Now, I offer you a path to salvation. Go forth and be reborn. The two ghosts revisited the tales of their mortal lives and saw how, despite their centuries-old dominion over life and death, they had existed no better than sewer rats, weeping profusely within the magical array before taking their leave. Cradling the gourd, I emerged from the mountain once more. This spiritual and vital essence must be returned to whom it rightfully belongs. Perhaps leveraging live streaming will hasten their reunion. See you in the live stream then.